we already started in a hole by picking the location that we picked in 2008. So we were already relying on the internet. We were already learning the skills that a lot of other restaurants didn't have to learn. So once the pandemic came, we went all in on digital. So we were using DoorDash as our primary delivery. We added Grubhub, we added Uber Eats, we added an integration partner to integrate those. We switched our primary technology partner from Aloha to Toast point of sale system. So we did all these things and we shared the story online.
Well, in just a few moments, you're going to hear from my friend Shawn out of beautiful California. He's into barbecue and podcasting and marketing, and he knows what he's talking about. I wish I could try his barbecue. We're a little bit far away in the country, but maybe when I make my way over to California, I can give it a try. I feel like I can smell it through the videos that he posts. He's very active on Instagram, so make sure you give him a follow and see all the stuff he's posting about podcasting and barbecue. But we dive into all of it, and I learn a lot from him in this next episode, so stay tuned in just a few moments, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Finally Marketing That Works. I'm here with another new friend, Shawn, down in Southern California in beautiful San Diego. Shawn, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Mitchell. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. I know we did a little bit of talking right before we got into this, and you've already got me intrigued with a ton of things in the restaurant industry and food and media. So I guess what I'll do, just start off by introducing yourself, tell the audience a little bit about what you do, what you offer, and then we'll kind of just dive in after that.
Sure. My name is Shawn Walchef. I own Cali BBQ. We are a barbecue brand and a media brand. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, what the hell does that mean? It basically means that we went into business in 2008 and opened up a barbecue restaurant in San Diego at an undesirable location. So it was a very difficult location. They tell you location, location, location. We had a difficult location in a difficult time in a difficult business. So we literally had to learn how to do anything and everything, how to do marketing, how to do advertising, how to put an ad in the yellow pages. Yes, our business was that long ago that we actually put an ad in the yellow pages. We eventually figured out that there was this great thing called the internet, and there was this advent of all these apps, all these social media apps that started to come along, and we got so sick and tired of getting ignored, and we also couldn't pay our bills. So we couldn't pay payroll. We were trying to gain traction. We were trying to learn how to do barbecue the right way, which is difficult when you get into the craft barbecue game. And anyone from different parts of the barbecue meccas of the United States always thinks it's laughable that somebody is doing craft barbecue in San Diego, but we wanted to do it the right way. It took us a long time to learn how to do it the right way. And once we did learn how to do it the right way, we needed to get people to care about it. So in order to do that, we started claiming our Facebook page. We made a business page on Facebook. We claimed a Twitter account. We started to learn that our website mattered. We started to put photos onto our website. We started to understand what search engine optimization was so that we could get people that were searching in San Diego and they wanted to watch fight night. And we had two boxers fighting. We wanted to get that search engine so that they could recognize if somebody's searching in San Diego and they want to see Pacquiao fight, are we going to show up in the search results? So all those things led to us understanding that we needed to know social media marketing, digital marketing, branding, but more importantly, how did we become a media company? We became a media company because we learned the skill set. So we learned the skill set of producing video, audio, written word, and images. And I know a lot of the times when people talk about digital marketing and social media marketing, TikTok, Instagram, Clubhouse, all the different platforms that come out, it gets very confusing and people shut down. But ultimately, if you get down to the simplicity of audio, video, images, and words, that's all the internet is. So if you can learn how to do that, and if you can start using your smartphone, which we learned how to do, is use our smartphone in order to capture what we're already doing. So not coming up with some huge camera crew to produce some video so that's a commercial for our restaurant. No, let's just start telling the stories that we're doing every single day at our smoker, behind the scenes, with our customers, with our guests, with our barbecue. And then by learning how to do that, we started to know that it's not just about us. There's also the customer that's coming in. There's also the charity that we're involved in. There's an event that we're participating in. By doing all those different things, we realized that we were able to become a media company and start to create media content. That's when we launched our podcast. It's when we launched our YouTube channel and started creating educational content, not just for our guests, but also for another restaurant owner that was looking at what were we doing right, what were we doing wrong, literally just putting everything out there and documenting our journey. So now 13 years later, we've launched our second restaurant, which is a ghost kitchen location. We're going to add another nine restaurants, ghost kitchen restaurants in San Diego. We host a podcast called Digital Hospitality, and we teach smartphone storytelling. I mean, that's really all it is. It's unlocking that tool that all of us have in our pocket that, a lot of times we take for granted. We take for granted the fact that we can have a conversation that can be heard on the other side of the world and impact somebody in a way that helps them with their business.
Man, okay, so a ton to unpack and a ton of questions. So the first one, when you talk barbecue, I married into a family in North Carolina. So I married into vinegar barbecue, which I was not a fan of. So I know there's lots of different barbecues across the country. I'm a big fan of barbecue sauce, I guess more so like a Texas barbecue. What kind of barbecue are we talking about over there in San
So
Diego?
we do, our pit master, 𝗪𝗹𝗶𝗳, taught us Kansas City style barbecue. So dry rub, sauce on the side. The sauce that we do have is a sweet sauce. But I mean, one of the things that was important to us in the beginning was to make memorable barbecue, not the best barbecue, because barbecue is subjective. So we believe a rising tide lifts all ships. So it was, how do we not only learn how to do great barbecue, but also bring up the barbecue community around us? So the other barbecue restaurant that was down the street, how do we become friends with them and know we're not competing against you? We're literally just trying to raise the educational level of people in San Diego, knowing that there is great barbecue. The barbecue that both of us offer are different. Come and celebrate barbecue.
Man, I love that. And when you mentioned the part, just kind of simplifying the internet and how it's just some words, some images, it's very basic. I think I've never actually heard it put that way, but it's so true because that really is all it is. And it's obviously people's attention span is taken by so many different companies and brands that are out there. And how do we get a piece of that? And when you mentioned the digital storytelling, that reminds me of something I learned just last year that I've been trying out, and it does work. And it's just, instead of texting somebody the words happy birthday, make a quick 20-second, 30-second video on your phone wishing them a happy birthday and being custom, and then texting it to them, because it just stands out. People aren't doing that anymore. They don't
Yep.
really send cards, and it's just all words, and it can get boring. So if you can stand out a little bit and do something that's memorable, like this video on a phone, so simple, and it takes less time, in my opinion, than typing it out typically, depending on what you're saying.
I'll give you a great example. When my wife and I, we're fortunate, we have a 4-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter, but when we had their baby showers, we were very fortunate. We have a lot of great close friends. They came to the baby shower. They, thankfully brought us gifts. We didn't open the gifts at the party, but we went home, and typically what would you do? You open the gifts and then you write a thank you note and you send a personalized thank you note to each of the person that came, thanking them. But what we did is we just took my iPhone and made a video of us opening the gift, literally unboxing the gift that they gave us, talking to them, to that personal family, and sent it to them, texted it to them. It's more memorable than anything else.
And they have it forever if they
And
want it.
they have it forever. They get to experience the moment of us opening up that gift together. And, that's the power of the smartphone. I mean, it's the power of video.
And it's so fast. It's so quick. So I love that. And so you've been using all this for a while. You've been in business for a while. I know you've probably had this question probably too many times, but I do have to ask because I'm curious how, being in Southern California during a pandemic with a restaurant, how did this last year in 2020 now into 2021, how was business and how did it affect you guys as a company?
I mean, it was the greatest gift accelerator that has ever happened for our business. And as difficult as it was to lay off 29 employees that were family to us, it allowed us to not pivot. Everyone talks about a pivot during the pandemic. Like I said, we already started in a hole by picking the location that we picked in 2008. So we were already relying on the internet. We were already learning the skills that a lot of other restaurants didn't have to learn. So once the pandemic came, we went all in on digital. So we were using DoorDash as our primary delivery. We added Grubhub, we added Uber Eats, we added an integration partner to integrate those. We switched our primary technology partner from 𝗧𝗏 to Toast point of sale system. So we did all these things and we shared the story online. So as we were making these decisions, we were sharing that on Instagram, we were sharing it on Twitter, we were sharing it on LinkedIn, we were creating YouTube videos, we were having podcasts, talking about all the decisions we were making, the pros, the cons, the things that we did right, the things that we did wrong, and unboxing. Literally, we got Toast, our point of sale company. They sent us, our hardware and its software, and there's all these different things that came once we made this switch. And we thought it would be funny. Why don't we just make an unboxing video of us unboxing our tech gear for our restaurant? Because my son watches kids unbox monster trucks and Hot Wheels. And literally these kids have 50 million YouTube subscribers and all they do is unbox Hot Wheels and monster trucks. These kids are making $20 million. But why? It goes back to it's showing rather than telling. When you make a video, you show instead of tell. And you never know who's going to be watching that video. So it's obviously our customers don't care about what point of sale system we have, but we've been able to develop relationships with our technology partners with Toast and with other tech partners who see the work that we're doing. We're impacting the sales team at Toast, the marketing team at Toast, and we're developing relationships with other restaurant owners who are going, hey, my point of sale system's old. I want to switch. Which video are they going to trust more? A video that we made or a video that a technology partner made?
Man, that's fantastic. So I'm going to ask this because I think there's going to be people listening that are going to have this question, but I also have this question. So we know video. I think people know, man, video is powerful and it's something that we should be doing. But I think a lot of people, they're not doing it because they're super uncomfortable getting in front of the camera, which I've gotten over that part of just making the video. But I'll go to make a video and go, I don't know if somebody actually cares about this content that I'm wanting to share or wanting to tell them about. And so I'll just go, maybe I'll do another one tomorrow and I'll just move on and not do anything at all. So what would be the encouragement from your side of making these videos, just an unboxing video of software to these people who aren't doing video content? Because one, there's probably freaked out to be in front of a camera, even though it's just them and their phone. And then two, that freak out moment of I'm going to post this and what if people don't like how I sound and what if I fumble on my words? So love to hear your take on that.
Yeah, the most difficult thing is getting over the ego. It's our own ego that gets in our way to think that I'm going to sound stupid on a microphone. I'm going to look dumb in a selfie video. I'm going to sound stupid when the news anchor comes out and asks me a technical barbecue question and I'm the barbecue guy, but I'm really not the barbecue guy. 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗃 is the barbecue guy. So I have to get over my own fears of sounding stupid, looking stupid, and just go and do it. And by doing it, I learn the skill set by saying yes to the podcast, by publishing. I can create the video all I want. It's easy to plan. It's easy to strategize. Oh, this is what I want to do. I want to start a podcast. Okay, great. Record it and then publish it. But you have to publish it. And well, what if 1,000 people hear it? Great. If 1,000 people, what if one person hears? Great. The fact is that you just have to be okay with the fact that you published it. Like by publishing it, that's where the magic happens, is because you learn the skill set that the next day I'm going to publish it a little bit better. And the day after that, I'm going to publish it a little bit better. And then now you're in the publishing business. Once you're in the publishing business, and you can get into the promoting business. Plan, produce, publish, promote. You rinse and repeat. It's 4 Ps. That's it. That's all this internet cycle, content, storytelling. That's all it is. But the problem that stops most people, somebody listening to this podcast, is I want somebody else to do it. It's like, I want someone, for 5 years, we got ignored at our restaurant. I wanted somebody to come and tell our story. I wanted a local reporter. I wanted somebody from the local magazine, from the newspaper, from the news, somebody from a magazine to come and say, oh, look at all this great barbecue that they're making in Spring Valley. Guess what? No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. So what we had to learn the skill ourselves to tell our own story. No one's going to tell your story better than you are. And once you start telling your story, you realize all I need is an audience of one. And that audience of one, it can even be me. It could be me. Who was I 5 years ago? 5 years ago, I wasn't at this place that I am right now. If I own a school, if I'm in the roofing business, if I'm in the restaurant business, if I own a barbershop, if I'm an attorney, 5 years ago, I was at a different place. Talk to that person. Tell them the steps that they need so that it's only 3 years to get to where you are. instead of 5.
Yeah, man. And going off of the story part that you said, I'd love to add 2 points to that, because I think story is so important. It's obviously something for thousands of years. People have just been telling stories, and that's how things have been passed down. And so, my whole life I was raised in church, and became youth pastor at a high school, and just love kids, love ministry. And one of the forms of teaching that I learned, that I used, we called it storytelling. And it was, you take all these stories in the Bible, and I could take, story of Jonah and the whale, or Jonah and the big fish, and I could read the story out of the Bible, or I could just know that story really, really well and tell the story like I would tell a bedtime story. And so I started doing that with the stories. I would get in front of the kids, and I'd say, "Hey, we're gonna learn a story today. It's about Jonah." And man, Jonah was this guy, boy, he was not that good of a guy, blah blah blah. And I just tell the story, and then at the end, I would ask questions to the students of like, "Hey, what was the main character? What did he do that God didn't like?" And they were like, boom, 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 answering it all back. And it stuck, because I could go up there and I could move my hands around, and I could just tell the story like I would tell a funny joke story. And I couldn't believe how much it stuck in their heads. And it really sunk in on me when I talked to some of these kids years later. And they're like, "Man, I love that story you told one time about blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, they remember it." Because they're usually, I feel like you hear something, and it goes in one ear and out the other after you're gone for
Yeah.
the day. And so story form, I just think it's just so easy, at least for my personality, to digest. I would rather watch a video, listen to a podcast, than read a book. I
Yeah.
struggle with me specifically reading a book. And the second part is, if you haven't heard of Donald Miller before, I love his style of
Donald Miller's amazing. It's
yeah,
all
okay, cool.
story brand. Come on.
So I love his form. Anybody who's listening, look up Donald Miller. He just talks about talking in story form as well. And when you're doing your marketing, don't be the hero. You want to make your client the hero in this story that you're telling, and you are just the guide. So like, with your barbecue, that you're the guide to them being the hero and loving good food and being a part of something more than themselves. And I could talk forever about that. But since you know Donald Miller, I'd love to hear, has his teachings influenced the way you run your business at all?
1000%. I mean, that's the number one book that I recommend on all the podcasts I go on and all the stages that I get to speak on, is because story brand is so important, and clarify your message. If you confuse, you lose.
Yep.
So we live in an attention economy. So it's all about time, and it's all about attention. We have such a quick amount of time for anyone to care about what we're talking about, what we're doing, what we're selling. What pain point are you selling? Barbecue takes time. Barbecue requires expertise. We give that back to the customer. So literally, we're doing slow food fast. We're doing craft food fast. We are a barbecue media company. Why are we a barbecue media company? Because we're both. By being Cali BBQ Media, now I'm a memorable person. When I go and I talk to someone and I say I'm a barbecue media person, they might not remember anything I said about ribs. They might not remember anything I said about podcasting. They might not remember anything I said about storytelling, but they will at some point go, "I remember that barbecue media guy from San Diego."
It does stand out, because it's stuck in my head now. And so this media company you have, I'm assuming you will be, with the podcast, you've been doing that for a while as well on your own. Do you get people reaching out to you from all over the country or the world saying, "Hey, will you do my marketing for me? I have a barbecue company in Georgia or in Tennessee or something." And if they do you offer them anything, or just say, "Hey, here's our YouTube videos. This is where we teach," or "Here's our podcast. Listen there."
So the goal is to be so good they can't ignore you. That's another book. It's called by 𝗪𝗹𝗰𝗵𝗄𝗳. Cal Newport wrote a book based off of a Steve Martin, the comedian. It's a quote. So when he was coming up, Charlie Rose interviewed him, and in this interview, he asked Steve Martin, you've become so popular. So many people are so impressed with your comedy. How did you do it? And Steve Martin told him, "I'm going to tell you an answer that you're not going to like." And he said, what are you talking about? He says, "The answer is to be so good they can't ignore you." So what does that mean? That means to go all in on the craft. So if you go all in on the craft of barbecue, the craft of storytelling, the craft of producing media content, our job is to be so good they can't ignore us. We don't want to create funnels. We don't want to create, all these different things that you see on the internet. We want to create the best content possible so that it's free. that anybody that owns a small business can go, well, if this single unit barbecue restaurant in San Diego can get all these incredible opportunities, then how can we do it? Well, here's a YouTube video, here's a blog, here's an audio podcast, here's an Instagram reel, here's a TikTok video. So that's the content side that we're creating. I'm doing personal coaching. So I'm doing a coaching program where I'll meet with, whether it's the CEO, whether it's the founder, whether it's the CMO, whether it's the entire marketing team, but essentially just going through the strategies, because we tried to build the agency side. And the problem with the agency side is it's complicated. Every business is different. Every business needs to be an e-commerce business. Every business needs to be a technology business. Every business is a marketing business and a media business. So it's like the amount of time and effort that it takes to do that from an agency standpoint, from a bandwidth standpoint, it gets to the point where we all know how difficult it is to running a social media account. That has to be done with boots on the ground, in my opinion. In my opinion, there has to be someone within the organization. You can have supplemental people that can help with that, but ultimately that unlock for anybody to be successful in social media storytelling, business storytelling, somebody has to have that smartphone on the ground, because that's where all the magic is. That's where the heartbeat of the brand is.
Man, 100% agree on that, because we obviously offer social media marketing for clients, and they will ask, where you get your content from. I was like, well, we can use stock. We hate stock, but I said, really need the stuff from you guys. If you have a picture of food, I can't use a stock picture of barbecue. Like I want to use your barbecue picture.
Correct.
But and people, in my opinion, from seeing with stuff online, and obviously I'm a millennial, so I've been digital for a while, is you can call out stuff pretty darn quick online. Go,
easy.
That's stock. That's
easy.
Fake. That's not them. And
well, the problem is like putting stock photos out on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, wherever you put them, all you're doing is checking the box to say, yes, I'm doing social. But that's not the point of social. The point of social is to tell a compelling story, to build a relationship and to build a community. Once you build a relationship in a community, you're so good that people can't ignore you. They can't stop talking about you. Then they want to share that video and promote your business to other people. I can't tell you how many, I work with tech companies where there's the sales side and the marketing side, and they won't talk to each other. Literally, the sales team needs content so that they can sell. The marketing team needs content from the sales team, but they don't want to do the sales team's job. They're like, I'm not going to do the marketing team's job. They need to create the marketing for us. Well, listen, we're all in marketing and we're all in sales, and we all need the content. And it's all right in front of us. It's literally the conversations that are happening, the boots on the ground, those salespeople that are on the ground could be recording that with their smartphone and come up with more compelling content than anybody in the marketing side could do. It's the huge unlock, is that the answer is you. Listen to this podcast. It's you. If you're listening to this podcast, the answer is you. Literally. Once you start respecting your phone and that camera app and going, I'm going to get over myself and I'm going to get over how I feel about a selfie video or a selfie photo, and I'm just going to start talking how I feel and what I do and why I built the business that I built and why I care about the customers that I care about, my values, what I do as a husband, as a dad. I mean, that's the content that I share.
And do you suggest then people listening to share on their friend page of Facebook, or make a public figure page, or only share it on their business page? What's your take on where the content should go?
So all I can talk is from personal experience, and personal experience is the problem that I have before was that I tried to compartmentalize what was my business and what was my personal. And ultimately, the business of Shawn and the personal of Shawn, I'm one person. I'm a barbecue media person. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I'm an alcoholic that owns a bar that's been in a program of recovery. I'm all of these things. So I talk about all of those things. And sometimes somebody's going to be wanting to listen because they care about barbecue. Other times they're not. Like, I just need to be me. The more that I'm me, then I'm speaking my truth, then I can be me on all the different platforms, and I don't have to compartmentalize. I don't have to worry about it. I mean, I remember early on when I was doing Facebook marketing, my personal page and then my business page, I would start to post content. Like, we had an upcoming charity barbecue event, and I would post it on my personal page. And then I remember there was a couple people that said, hey, Shawn, like, we know you own a barbecue restaurant. Why are you posting this on your personal page? Well, I'm posting because it's important to me. I want to help. I want to raise money for this charity. If you have a problem with me being in the barbecue business or the charity business, then maybe we shouldn't be friends. And that's really the real problem, is that the people that you're following, like, if they have a problem with you posting about your roofing company or your school or whatever you care about, whatever you're passionate about, then they probably shouldn't be your friends.
Touche, because it's their profile. You can do whatever you want with it.
Unfollow. Stop
Yeah.
following me. No problem.
And I've done that before. I mean, shoot, I have how many friends on Facebook? 1,500 friends on Facebook. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where I know them from. So I've, no offense to anybody who's listening, if I'm friends on Facebook, I've unfollowed a lot of people over the
Sure.
years. Once because it's been 5 years since I've seen him, and I can't keep up with 1,500 people. Nobody can. You
Yep.
have like, I think, what did they say, 5 or 10 of the closest people you can really keep up with, like, truly in your life. So yeah, I've unfollowed people, and it's okay to unfollow people, guys. It
It's
really
okay.
is. It is okay. And I'm horrible. So I'm a huge like sports fan. So I love my dad's from Chicago, so I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan. It's more football than anything. And I don't even follow the Chicago Bears on Facebook because I don't want to, I'll see all their stuff and I know it'll take a ton of my time. So only when I want to go see updates, I will go to search Chicago Bears on Facebook, go to the
Yep.
page, look at a couple posts and go away. I rarely follow pages on Facebook because I kind of just want to see my closest friends, what's going on with them. And because you know how it sucks you in, man. It just like, oh my gosh, half an hour went by. And so
For sure.
yeah. So you've been in business for a while now. I'm sure you've had some failures, some successes. I would love to hear just maybe some of the ones you tried when you first started and go, man, I spent money on this and boy, did it flop. It was just not successful, but this one really did well for me. If you have any of those, you'd love to share.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing that I can say is, when you're thinking about digital marketing and you're thinking about calls to action and discounting, especially if you're trying to discount your product to get people to click to your website or to get that first customer, I mean, that's a short-term tactic. If you focus on brand, if you focus on storytelling, if you focus on learning these different crafts, these different tools that we're talking about, talking on video, taking photos with your iPhone, if you focus on that every single day, the more that I've leaned into that, the bigger the results are. And it's not short term. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to go, hey, Shawn, I posted, every day for the last 7 days, I posted a TikTok video and only 30 people watched. Why am I doing it? Well, you're doing it because you never posted a video of yourself talking on TikTok or any platform for that matter ever in your life. And now you've done 7. How much better are you going to be at 15? How much better are you going to be at 45? How much better are you going to be at 100? And who knows what the platform? The problem is we give all this power to the logo on the platform and what it's called. Well, I hate TikTok. Well, I don't like Facebook because that's where all my family is and they bitch and complain about politics. Like, get over that. You have to get over all of that. Get over your subjective feelings towards a platform and understand that's where people's attention are. If you go to the App Store on your iPhone and you look at the most downloaded free apps, that will tell you everything you need to know of where people's attention are. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, all of these platforms, they're all there. It's like the answers to the test are there. That's where all the attention is. So start creating content for those.
Sweet. So you would say would you say then maybe a bigger failure is not doing it fast enough for yourself or for content, or did you start from the day one of starting the barbecue company?
No, definitely was. If there's anything, it would lean into my truth and do it more and do it earlier.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So, I mean, even somebody like me, I don't think that I did enough. I wish I did more.
Okay. And if you had to pick a favorite platform that you like, that you've had the most success on, which platform would you say that is for you?
Recently would probably be LinkedIn and Clubhouse.
Wow. Really? Man, I've
LinkedIn
seen
and
people have some
Clubhouse.
great success with Clubhouse recently. I've only been on there a couple times. And then obviously I do love LinkedIn, but what's been your take on then Clubhouse, since that's one of the newest ones that's come up?
Clubhouse is audio storytelling, but it's deep connection. So when you hear someone speak their truth on an audio platform, typically it's a passive conversation. So if you're driving in your car and you're listening to sports talk radio, which I'm a huge fan of sports talk radio, and you hear something, like they'll give you a call to action to call in. Well, Clubhouse, you're already in the room. You can raise your hand and then you can get brought on stage with somebody and you can develop a relationship with someone that you never expected. And because it's always available, it's always on, there's also the ability to click into their profile to see who they are and what they do. And then you can build a deeper connection because you can follow them on Instagram, you can follow them on Twitter, you can send them a message, hey, great job on Clubhouse today, I really enjoyed, you know, what you talked about with your family. Now all of a sudden you have a deeper connection with a follower on Instagram than you ever would if someone just followed you because they, you know, followed you because of a hashtag. This is somebody that actually heard you speak in a Clubhouse room. This is somebody that knows who you are, that can develop into a much deeper relationship.
Very cool. We were on Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse last week or the week before, and I have a group of, we all own agencies throughout the country, and there's just 5 of us total. We all hopped on. We decided to do our regular call. We usually do on Google Meet. Let's do it on Clubhouse. We just did our, hey, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and everything. And we even had a couple of people hop on the call, like while we were having this conversation, because that's what we want to do. You leave it open. If somebody really wanted to hop in and hear these agency owners talk, and if people did and chimed in as well. And I thought that was actually really fun, because if I can help add value to somebody who's maybe struggling with their agency or struggling with their marketing, I want, that's literally why I'm in business, is I want to help small businesses grow and be successful. So if we're just talking and somebody can listen in and get us some little nuggets that they can take and go back to their business, why not? So we've actually, that's the first kind of I guess my try with Clubhouse, and we're going to continue to do. We're going to
lean into it. It's such a powerful tool, especially now as a podcaster. As a podcaster, you can invite your audience in, and hey, every week at this time we're here. You know, if you want to have a further conversation or you have any follow-up questions, you can bring, you know, people on and have a conversation, build a deeper connection.
So with all this, you sound like you would never have time for anything else besides you do a lot of media. It's kind of sounds like. So how do you, and this would be a good one for everybody listening. So how do you break it apart to make sure you have, obviously, you know, 2 great kids, you have a wife. So how do you, family, barbecue life, media life, just regular life, how do you keep those apart and kind of structure your day?
Well, it goes back to what I talked about for the business and the personal. I mean, it's just one me. So you get one me. And by me, I mean, I have to take care of myself before I can take care of my family. So before I can become a better dad or a better husband or a better leader or a better restaurant owner, I have to take care of myself first. And I've learned that through therapy. I've learned that through having mentors. I've learned that through what my grandfather taught me. And I wake up every single day at 4 a.m. and I focus on my mind, my body, and my spirit. I do a practice called sunrise gratitude. Spend time reading, spend time going outside when the sun's coming up, either running, either walking, either hiking. I'm going out. I went swimming this morning, just doing something different when the sun rises. And that helps ground me to take care of me, to know that. And even while I'm doing that, sometimes I'm listening to music, sometimes I'm listening to podcasts, but I always have my phone. So I'm documenting when I'm outside, I'm taking photos of nature, I'm taking videos of nature. It's helping me with my own skill set that I value, which is storytelling. And through posting that, which before I would never post something of me working out, because I made fun of people that would post pictures of them working out because I thought they were conceited and self-centered. But now I post that, and it's actually helping other people, saying, wow, thank you for sharing your weight loss journey. You know, that you're overweight, I'm overweight too. You know, what are you doing? People are sending me DMs saying, like, you know, thank you for sharing your story. So you just never know who you're going to impact. And I just live one life. So I don't have to worry about compartmentalizing and worrying, you know. Yes, is there times where I have to put my phone down when I'm with my children? Yeah, absolutely. I have to go on airplane mode or just leave my phone outside. But then there's also times where I want my phone so I can take a video of my son jumping, you know, and dancing with his sister.
Shawn, I would say you definitely encouraged me, because I will say when I'll go to post, if you were to look at my personal like friend page on Facebook, I posted I think a month ago, and last time was November, because I posted for Small Business Saturday saying please go out and support small businesses. Because I will go to post, I go, oh man, we went out, my wife and I went out to dinner, I'd love to share the picture. I'm like, nobody cares. Or I'll go to post something funny, go, maybe I don't know if anybody really even cares. Well, never mind, I just won't post it. I literally do that constantly. I just needed to post it because, like you said, it's gonna, even if it's 5 people that needed to see that or needed to be encouraged, or oh man, I
You
need
never
help
know
with
who's
my stuff.
watching.
Yeah,
You just never know who's watching.
and if they don't like it, they can unfollow.
And even if nobody's watching, you're learning how to post better. Like, you're learning how to post better. You're learning how to take a better photo. You're learning how to put better copy in your captions. You're learning how to use a different platform. You're learning how to repurpose a video, an original video that you made on TikTok, and then take it to Instagram Reels. Like you don't learn that stuff unless you actually do it. And the way that you do it is using your smartphone, using your iPhone, using your Android.
And so I think we'll wrap it up here soon, but I do have a question. Since you're doing a lot with video and pictures, what's your take on editing those videos, adding graphics, touching up photos, or are you kind of like a raw guy where you just take the video vertical, post it online, and that's it? Or do you have a video editor go over it and take out the lighting, make it a little better? What do you do?
So that's the big hiccup that most people have is when you see video. Like we have pillar content where it's our North Star video where I actually use Rising Tides Creative. I have a videographer, I have a producer. Like we're going and doing a video for Weber grills. You know, we have a whole shoot where we're teaching somebody how to sear tripe with graphics, lower thirds, title cards. That's pillar content. Like that's for our YouTube channel. Like you don't get to that until you learn how to do native video without editing, without graphics. Like that's the crazy thing is right now, the social platforms, they reward native video. They want you to post native video. They're actually pushing it up in the algorithms. That's what Instagram's reels are. That's what TikTok is. That's why it's so popular. So it's like, until you learn how to post it and work on the content, tell a better story, have a better hook point. What's your hook point? What problem are you solving? What's the idea that you're trying to get across in the video? But post it. If you don't post it, you can't improve on it. And then post it the next day, and then post another one the next day, and then post another one the next day. And then you're going to look back 6 months from now and go, wow, look how much better I am at posting. Now maybe I can put a caption. Now maybe I can add music. Now maybe I can, get a different angle. But like until you do that, you'll never get better. And then you'll just go, well, my videos don't look like that person's videos. I don't have enough followers. Who cares how many followers you have? It's irrelevant.
Yeah, you're right.
What's relevant is that 2 years from now, you're going to go, I listened to this amazing podcast. I was really fired up to start videos and I didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Do it.
I could talk to you for hours. This one's already flown by and I've enjoyed it. But all good things must come to an end, but we can always do another one later on. So before we hop off, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, follow your podcast, chime in, go by San Diego and buy some of your awesome barbecue, what would be the best way for them to get in contact with you guys?
Best way is just go to Instagram at Shawn P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef. That's good for all the social media platforms. So Clubhouse, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or you can just go to 𝗪𝗹𝗶𝗵𝗄.media. We make it as easy as possible to get in touch with us any way that we can help. This is our thesis. This is literally what we research and talk about every single day. So any way we can help out with smartphone storytelling to help you tell your story better, please reach out.
Awesome. Well, Shawn, thank you so much for your time. I love what you're doing. And next time I'm in San Diego, I'm going to come by and grab some of that
VIP tour.
Awesome.
VIP tour.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much.
And we'll take a bunch of video of the tour.
All right, let's do it. And then I will post it. You have.
I'll make you post it. I'll watch you post it there.
Deal. Right, best of luck to you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
Well, I told you he wouldn't disappoint. I hope you were able to take at least one thing away from the podcast from Shawn and I today. And if you're making your way through California, I hope you will stop by, buy some barbecue, find Shawn, and do a selfie video with him that you can post online to show people that you went by there and as a memory. Obviously, I need to get better at posting more video, as Shawn told me in the podcast, and I do know it works. I need to do it. So Shawn, you got me, man. I do have to do that. So thank you for the encouragement on that. And guys, if you need some good barbecue, swing on by good old California and see Shawn. And hopefully you can take some of these things you listened and heard today, apply it to your business, apply it to your brand, and use it to grow. We'll be here next week with another awesome guest here on the Finally Marketing That Works podcast. We'll see you then.